We good?
Okay, and 3, 2, go.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to...
Listen to all that energy.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to a new episode of Not That It Matters podcast.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
That's a good podcast voice.
Thank you.
It's a nice cocaine voice.
I'm your host, Nick Lanham.
Host with the most.
Hostess with the mostest.
Okay.
I
like ding-dongs.
Yeah, I know. I am joined, as always, by my incomparable co-host, but incomparable feels like too much of a compliment. His name is Alex Panu.
Alex Panu. Yeah. That is my name.
Say hi to everyone, Alex.
Hello.
All right, you're done. And that was Alex. Thanks,
Bye.
Alex. See you next week.
Now you talk.
Oh, okay.
Now you do the whole podcast, and I'll just sit here. Mike is unplugged.
I wish we should release a version of this where it's just each of our voices, and you don't hear the other side, so we just sound like psychopaths. Like,
Oh, that would be fun.
so we're like, what do you think about...
Wait, that wouldn't even make any sense.
Well, I was thinking of you cutting me off.
What do you think about the Umbrella Academy?
Well, no, I was going to say, like, it's usually you cutting me off and saying something funny, so it would be me like, what do you think about... Oh my God, that'd be so crazy. Also, if I talked like that, no one should ever listen. Yeah. There's a reason I don't do it. You should see me when I write a script. I just sit there and do all the characters' voices, and they're terrible.
Just yourself?
Yeah. They're just me.
Little do we know Nick's been a schizophrenic this whole time.
Yeah, I say characters' voices, but they're in the room with me.
Not schizophrenic, but would it be DID? Dissociative identity?
DID, yeah.
You're like James McAvoy in Split.
They're here with me.
Yeah.
In spirit. How are you?
Hello,
How's
I'm
life?
Dolores.
Dolores?
Yeah, it's one of your characters.
Yeah, that's my question.
Doesn't James McAvoy have one of those characters in Split?
Dolores?
Yeah, doesn't he have like an old woman?
He does. Yeah, he's like a British woman. I forgot what her name is.
Something like Dolores or something like that.
Answer my question. How are you? I said, how are you?
Doing well. How are you? So formal.
I feel like that's a really good way to meet someone. How are you?
How are you today?
Please tell me how you are.
I'm just getting really dark.
Okay, actually, really
Be like,
quick.
well, it's February, and I'm kind of getting out of a 3-month-long depression.
Do you ever get pissed off when somebody goes, hey, how are you? And you're like, I'm good, how are you? And then they just start talking about something else.
Yeah, it's fun.
That's a question. Like, you don't just go, hey, how are you? I'm good, how are you? Anyway, so I came in here.
Yeah, they just use it as like a small talk transition.
I asked you a question.
So you can talk, so
Say
they're
how you-
allowed to talk more. Yeah.
Say how you are, you fucking asshole. Like, I don't, or if I go, hey, how are you? And they're like, hey, how's it going? I'm like, what? Don't respond to my question. Like,
I do that.
if I go, hey, how's it going? You go, how's it going?
I'd be like,
How's it going?
fine. How are you?
That's what I would say. If somebody's like, how's it going? I'd be like, pretty good. How about you? And they'd be like, anyway, so what I did was, oh man, it makes me so like, it's one of those little things that gets under my skin. I don't feel like I should notice it as much as I do.
Yeah.
But I notice it a lot, especially because especially when I worked in retail, I'd be like, hey, how's it going? And they'd be like, do you got jeans?
Yeah.
I'd be like, I asked you a question first.
That happens when I'm serving sometimes too. I'd be like,
Oh, I'm sure it's
hey
so
guys,
bad
how we
there.
doing tonight? And they'll be like, we like mozzarella sticks. I'm
You're like, I didn't
okay.
ask what you wanted.
Okay.
I asked how your night was.
Yeah.
Respond to me.
Like, how about you give me 2 Heinekens? I'm like, we don't have that. And you're like, oh, you fucking idiot.
This fucking piece of shit didn't even ask how we were.
Yeah. Those are people who barely pay attention to anything.
I feel like that's everybody at some points, but there's some people that never do. And you're like, how did you get to where you are in life? You know, those people that don't pay, like, they're like just assholes all the time, but they're in like a really high seat of power. Like, they're doing very well in life. It blows my mind.
I feel like the people that are the biggest assholes are people that aren't in power at all.
What do you mean? Like
people that are just like, they're just like shithead human beings. Because to be like that level of successful, you have to have some sort of like human interaction skills.
Unless there's like that very small percentage of people that like have somebody that just puts them there because they can.
That is true.
That's very small though. You're right. You have to like because most of like the big assholes that are like, you know, like running like hedge funds and stuff, like they had to have what they really probably were good at is kissing ass and being fake about it. And then when they got to that point, they could the real version.
I
of
mean,
them
maybe,
could come out.
but a lot of times too, it's like people like working with people who are like nice and fun to be around.
True.
So they promote those people that have good personalities as like human beings, apart from
I
their
guess
actual
so.
skills.
I see. I kind of get that in like the creative side, because like we're going to talk about Umbrella Academy and probably pop punk and stuff, and a good example of somebody who had a very difficult personality for people to work with for a long time was Gerard Way. So like in the creative side, like he was really talented, but like
why was he so difficult?
He was really arrogant. Like he was really when he was younger, you know what I mean? Like
he was like a shithead 20-year-old or 20-something.
Yeah, and like MCR blew up really fast. Like I'm not okay.
Like every other pop punk band.
Well, I meant like blew up, like got big quick.
No, I know.
But a lot of those guys cut their teeth for a long time in local scenes and stuff.
Did they?
A lot. Yeah, a lot of them.
Like a lot of like. Well,
it seemed like it came out of nowhere to us.
It must be indicative of the movement, though, because pop punk was so like flash in the pan for like 4 years. So
yes
it might feel like every band just like exploded, was really big, and then just died.
Yeah, it's more of like every band was a flash in the pan, except for a couple big ones. Because it kind of started
that are still around.
I mean, Green Day was at the end of the 90s. So I mean, like it wasn't 4 years. It's more like every band had like a quick run, except for Green Day. Even MCR, who was one of the biggest ones, had a pretty short run.
Yeah. A lot of the bands
really just had the first 2 albums.
A lot of the bands, too, that are still around are bands that have pivoted since then and moved on to different genres like Fall Out Boy, or where they've moved from like, because like they were pop punky and like From Under the Cork Tree and Grand Theft Auto.
Take This to Your Grave. Take This to Your Grave
is that album.
Even like Fall I Do, like which came out was the next, or Infinity on High was the next one. Not Fall I Do. That one was pretty poppy, but
yeah,
their first 4 albums, you could say, like even their first EP, Evening Out with Your Girlfriend, like that's all pretty pop punk stuff. It gets more and more poppy, and then they took that hiatus. And you're going to say, I'm sure you're going to say when they came back, they're not even really a band anymore.
It's just all pop.
Yeah. I forget their drummer's name.
It's pop with a little bit of rock.
They have a really talented drummer, but that dude is, that he's never recording drums. It's just like MIDI drum tracks thrown in the back of them talking, like doing like poppy shit.
Yeah. What's that one song? It's like the Fire song that was really big, like last year, 2 years ago.
Oh, My Songs Know What You Did in the Dark, or
no, I can't even think of how it goes.
Uma Thurman was a big one.
God,
Centuries.
They really just fell off for me.
Fucking
completely.
Bad shit. Yeah, it's not.
Those first 2 albums are just beautiful, great albums.
For One of the Cork Tree is like, if you're going to put together a list of like the top 5
Mount Rushmore pop punk albums,
that one, probably Welcome to the Black Parade.
Yeah, that's a great album.
Yeah. Tell All Your Friends, which is Taking Back Sunday, maybe would be on there.
Is that the one with like Make Damn Sure on it and all that kind of stuff?
No, Make Damn Sure. Wait, Tell All Your Friends? Yeah.
Make Damn Sure is the name of the album, wasn't it?
That was one of their albums. Tell All Your Friends. Yeah, I think that's...
Oh, is that the one that has like Cute Without the E on it?
Yeah, and Liar.
Yeah. It's their first album before...
Yeah.
Because then Make Damn Sure kind of did the same thing where like they got pretty popular.
Yeah.
And then it was kind of like a slight transition into a little bit poppier stuff.
Yeah. You might... Yeah, that Mount Rushmore probably doesn't actually have the... It's probably Black Parade, From Under the Cork Tree. You could probably put American Idiot on there.
Yeah.
Or Dookie or any of those
You
first
almost
few
have
albums.
to put American Idiot on there.
Yeah, because that one just blew the whole thing up.
Yeah.
And then you would probably do like, that last one would be like a rotating thing, because you could put AFI on there, you could put Taking Back Sunday.
You think AFI was that?
Miss Murder was massive.
That's one song though.
That album though, those 2 albums of Sing the
song
Sorrow
is great, but
Sing the Sorrow and December Underground were pretty huge. I think they were multi-platinum albums.
Oh damn.
Yeah. Well, because like Girls Not Grey and The Leaving Song Part 2 and yeah, they had a few big songs.
See, like that, like wouldn't be all like on my Mount Rushmore.
That's what I mean.
My Mount Rushmore
rotating.
is like, yeah,
All Time Low. You could probably put on there.
Maybe.
I'm trying to think of another. I feel like I'm blanking on a huge one. I can't think.
I want to put like Silverstein on there. I fucking love that.
I feel like you totally. Then I wonder though if you're still in pop punk.
Yeah, you're moving more into like screamo-y,
like emo stuff.
Yeah, you move into like that like Bullet, Escape the Fate area.
Yeah,
it's a different realm.
Fate, that one, yeah, Dying.
Yeah,
is your latest fashion.
It's not quite pop punk. It's more of just like the punky screamo.
Maybe Page Avenue, Story of the Year had like Until the Day I Die and Anthem of Our Dying Day. Here in St. Louis, that's probably on the Rushmore.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
People here freak out about Story of the Year.
I never really got into them, which is really weird.
Mm-hmm.
I talked about it on another podcast, like my good family friends, the Travises that I always hang out with. We do all of our holidays and everything with them. But I mean, they go to every single Story of the Year concert whenever they're in St. Like the whole family does.
Oh yeah, dude. When they sell out, they are like our big venue. That's not like an arena size. It's more of like I think it holds like 5,000.
Pageant holds 5,000?
I think it holds 5,000 with standing room.
Shit.
I could be wrong. You're
standing.
Right. Might be 3,500.
That 5,000 sounds like a lot.
But
because like for comedy shows, I think it's like 1,200 with seats.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe it's a lot smaller than
So I think it's like double without seats. So it's probably like 25. If I had to guess.
That is so much smaller than I thought it was. But I guess,
dude, 5,000 is a shit ton of people.
Yeah, I guess it is.
5,000 is like a third or a quarter of like where the Blues play.
No, with
Blues is 19,000.
Yeah, with the ice, when you add floor seats, it's like an extra 2,000.
I mean, like for like the game, like it's like that big of a
19,000 though. I mean, like you're a quarter of that. But I mean, like. Yeah, St. Louis doesn't have a good middle ground venue. That's why we lose out on a lot of good concerts because we don't have that.
Smaller venues, or
you're either doing an arena or you're doing the pageant.
The pageant is 1,000 to 2,300.
That's it,
depending on the event. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's way smaller.
Man.
Yeah, and that's on their website.
At 2,300 is probably most of the concerts, I would say, because standing room and like general admission. Yeah, it's still pretty good size. So Delmar Hall is probably like 1,000, maybe with maybe 1,200.
Yeah, but that's where you get bands. Like pop punk bands that still come through, like that's where they go.
Or like, well, we saw the Head and the Heart there, and they were great.
Head and the Heart
it's a great venue for that kind of stuff. But
yeah,
I'm trying to think.
I saw Newfound Glory at the pageant once.
They're coming back. People are pumped. It's Newfound Glory and somebody else. That's really
another
good.
big band. Yeah,
I forget who. But
yeah, have I told that story on the podcast? The first time I went to a Newfound Glory
when you lost
concert.
your shoe.
Yeah.
In a mosh pit at a Newfound Glory concert. God.
First concert I ever went to, I was moshing at a Newfound Glory concert. And then I lost my shoe. Yeah. And I think I was in maybe a freshman in high school or like 8th grade. Yeah. I was pretty young.
Yeah.
And I couldn't find my shoe. And I had security come over with a flashlight and help me look for my shoe.
Such like a party foul.
I know.
Oh, you know who I just...
Well, that's like before I had smartphone, or before I had smartphone.
Before I had smartphone.
Before I had a smartphone, so like I didn't have a flashlight. I had a little flip phone still, and I was just
that light's real bright.
I had it all flipped up, looking around the ground, and there's people moving around and just punting it all around the floor.
I wonder if that last spot on that Mount Rushmore could be "Riot" by Paramore. Like that's a pretty big.
Probably
album.
That was a giant album.
That was huge.
That really put Paramore on the map too.
Yeah, and they've had a lot of staying power.
You almost have to,
because they're huge.
Yeah,
but then
they're still huge too.
Because the problem is you had these albums that, like you said, like they were flash in the pans. All those bands, like Good Charlotte, had one massive album, like one huge album.
But like the Anthem, Boys Like Girls,
and Lifestyles of the Rich and the Famous.
Yeah,
that album, I forgot. I think it's just called. Is it called the Anthem or? Maybe Lifestyles of the Rich and the Famous. That might be.
I think it's Lifestyles of the Rich and the Famous.
Yeah. Ocean Avenue, that album by Yellow Card was huge.
Yeah, it's got Only One on it. Yep. Ocean Avenue.
Yep. I feel like there's some big ones that I'm leaving out, but it blows my mind how hard that fell off. Though it felt like a weird cultural reaction.
It is gone.
Well, I think now it's come back. People our age are now
people our age are listening to it still, but it's not. There's no new albums coming out from these bands.
There are, but they're not big.
No.
Like, Yellow Card has a new album, and it's actually pretty good, but like...
Good Charlotte had a album come out last year.
Yeah, there you go. I think, but there was a point in time after it fell off where people never admitted they even liked it. It was like, it just wasn't talked about. And now it's back in the way where people are like, yeah, I used to love that stuff. It was so good back then. Like...
Yeah.
But now you don't ever hear people saying like I love, there's nobody's playing like new pop punk stuff really.
No, not at all.
Yeah, I'm sure there might be.
Dude, do you remember the song "The Little Things" by Good Charlotte?
Yeah, that's a great song.
Things.
Yeah,
that was the first song on their first album.
Wow. There you go.
Damn.
Yeah.
I still cannot find that fucking album title. It's called "The Young and the Hopeless."
Oh,
is the name of that album.
God, I definitely should know that. That's a really good album too.
Yeah, that's a great fucking album.
You go through
2002.
Yeah, see, that's what
Jesus.
I mean. It's been going. It went for a long time, but then it turned into. It went through like a torch passing where like it was Green Day. It was, you could say, Good Charlotte, Blink-182. You have to put them on there. Alex has this weird hatred of Blink, but you have to admit,
I don't hate Blink.
The biggest one.
I hate Tom DeLonge singing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you hate Tom DeLonge.
Yeah.
Which I get. But you have to admit, they probably are the biggest pop punk band.
Yeah. Small things.
He has a way of finding vowels in words that they're not there.
Yeah. He makes a G into like a vowel.
I feel like what he took that and sometimes Y and put it in like every word. That's what he thought it meant. Like sometimes Y as a vowel meant it could be in any word. Sometimes it's in whatever word you need it to be.
Yeah.
Because he's like,
Sometimes
the ocean is on fire.
Fire.
Star gets dark again.
Yeah.
It is. It's just extra Y's.
Yeah.
Because he was like, A-E-I-O-U.
What's weird is that I love him in Angels and Airwaves.
Angels and Airwaves. Oh, Angels
It's a great
and Airwaves
band.
is so good.
It's a great band.
I like them more than
Blink-182
Blink.
sucks.
I really
They're
like
terrible.
Blink. They're very much like a product of that era. I would say is a good way to like encompass them because they're very, like they would run around naked and throw cash at people and do dumb shit. And they were goofballs and like their songs were very like immature and simple.
Yeah.
But they were Simple Plan. That's another big one. They're a big band.
On the same lines as Green Day, do you put like the Chili Peppers in there?
No, they're not pop punk at all.
No. But they kind of like are like a transition from like traditional rock into like kind of like a funkier new thing.
It's like it's the other way around. Like they were real funk early on, like Blood Sugar Sex Magic, that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
they started in the 80s. Don't forget that.
It is true.
They're so much older.
Band, yeah.
I was gonna say like you had these like I was thinking of like more of like the Flash in the Pan ones, and like you could like what about like Bowling for Soup?
Bowling for Soup.
They had a few big songs, like but like 1985. That was
1985.
All American Rejects might be on there. Move Along.
Did Simple Plan do I'm addicted to you?
Yeah. They also did I'm Just a Kid.
And life is a nightmare. Like all this stuff also like resonates with us because we were
angsty little teenagers,
but like in like middle school and like early high school, and it was like, oh, this band wants to die just like I do.
Well, yeah,
it's like,
granted, there's no other type of music that has captured the angst of being a teen better than that kind of music.
Yeah,
nothing close in my mind. Because like classic
Hawthorne
rock,
Heights. Ohio's for lovers.
Slip my wrist and black my eyes.
Slip my wrist and black my eyes.
Or cut my wrist and black my eyes. Whatever. But
yeah, slip my wrist and black my eyes.
Yeah, dude. Fuck
so I can fall asleep tonight.
Or die.
Because
you kill me.
You know?
Yeah, you do. You kill me well. Like it's so fucking dark.
Well, I was listening to all this music too. Like whenever I like fell in love with like the first girl like in 8th grade, and then she broke my heart, and it was like.
I was like, these guys get it.
Die.
I was like, I'm so sad.
I know.
When I was just like, nobody loves me. I'll never be happy. These guys get it. My life's over. I'm 13.
That's such a real thought.
I know. You're like, I've lived it all. I've seen it. I've seen everything.
I can never come back from this.
She loved me, but now it's freshman year. What will we do?
Oh, no, you just laugh your ass off.
Because you're like, I'm an adult now. I'm 14. I was 13 before, but now look at me.
Yeah.
Honey,
I know everything.
Like, you made a mistake, bitch. I'm grown up now.
Yeah. I'm an adult.
I feel like, I wonder if you could, like, I feel like All American Rejects might have to go on there too, though.
Yeah.
Dude, they had so many hits.
Move Along. But it's not really like, that's more like pop rock.
They were like swing,
swing,
Paper Heart.
Yeah, it's not really a pop punk song though.
Sum 41.
Sum 41, yeah.
I fucking love Sum 41. Because they also went a little bit.
They do Fat Lip, right?
Yeah, they do Fat Lip and Still Waiting and In Too Deep.
It's a great fucking song.
So good, yeah. That video is really. That's also what those bands had. They had really funny music videos.
All the Good Charlotte videos from the early 2000s are
Boys Like
hilarious.
Girls one, where it's those old men and those old women just like dressed like kids.
Lifestyles of the Rich and the Famous, they're all in prison at one point. Being chased by the cops. Yeah. And then they're like outside of an abandoned school in an empty pool playing a song, and there's like everybody around them.
What's the
so stupid?
Have you seen the First Date video from Blink where it's like in the 70s? They walk in.
I don't look at anything Blink related.
You've seen it. You're such a little
fucking
bitch.
hate
You've
Blink.
seen it. They walk in and Tom goes.
They got tricked by Ja Rule. They should have gone to the Fire Fest.
The video starts and they're walking in to like start playing in their band room. It's set in the 70s, and Tom goes, so I walk in, my brother's there. I end up making out with my own brother, and then Mark just goes, you know what they say, like father, like son. And they just start playing. That's all.
very funny.
That's all it is.
That's very funny.
They just go into the song.
You know, you say like father, like son.
Makes no sense at all. Mark Hoppus is also like one of the most
that's
liked
very
people
funny.
in music. Like people love Mark from Blink-182.
What is he?
He's the bass player. Okay. He's the other guy that sings.
Oh, okay.
The guy that sings with the low voice.
He's not Travis Barker.
Yeah. Don't waste.
Blink-182 is only 3 people, right?
Huh?
Guitar, bassist, drums.
Yeah,
it's
it's 3. It's a trio. Yeah. But yeah. I was starting to think of other like big ones, but I feel like you then start getting into like I feel like you can't actually say Taking Back Sunday because they were popular, but it was more for people that were into that style of music. Not everybody knew Taking Back Sunday, I feel like.
Yeah.
Everybody knew Pete Wentz and everybody knew Fall Out Boy. Everybody knew Gerard Way and My Chemical Romance.
Dude, Pete Wentz was like
he was
the guy for a while.
Him, Gerard.
Well, because he's the songwriter.
Oh, Panic at the Disco.
Panic at the Disco. Panic at the Disco.
They're
still
huge.
killing it.
Yeah.
Well, there's that one
They're very
video.
different now, but
Yeah.
they're the same. They're not like Fall Out Boy though. Like they're still pretty good.
Yeah.
I can listen to them.
I have that one video that I play on repeat. It's Panic at the Disco singing Queen, singing Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah.
In front of like
Brendan Urie
30,000 people.
That's such a like he makes sense to sing that song so much. Like they're so
His voice is
theatrical and his voice is
insane.
crazy good.
Yeah.
They're still like they're probably the most popular one because Fall Out Boy
Fall Out Boy's still pretty goddamn popular.
now though.
Well, like what's
Relevant-wise?
Panic's new music though?
That song that's like it's like High Hopes or something like that. It's super.
Oh yeah,
super
yeah.
famous. Yeah,
yeah.
Didn't they just win a? Aren't they? They were up for a Grammy.
Yeah.
They've had a few. They had a song also in Greatest Showman. The Greatest Show.
Oh,
did
they
a version of that.
did.
Dude, they're doing
they
really
did.
good.
Yeah. And dude, that movie is great.
Yeah, I finally watched it. It's great.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm a big musical fan.
Well, who was your big? Who was like? If you had to pick, I think you know who my probably favorite pop punk one was by now, but.
MCR.
Yeah, My Chemical Romance. I was a closet fan of them for a long time because people used to be like, if you
You're
like
still a
screamo,
closeted fan of.
closeted in other ways, but they people would give me shit because I was really into screamo, and they're like, well, My Chemical Romance is pretty like basic. Then I mean, how could you like? I loved them though.
Yeah.
What about like Avenged Sevenfold? Does that count?
No, that's like hard rock.
Yeah, you're right.
It's more than that.
Like Bullet,
Little
like
area,
that.
Bullet, Escape to Fate, Silverstein.
Because they came to mind, but
For
anyways.
favorite pop punk,
is it Silverstein?
for me, it would be Silverstein if you would put that in pop punk.
That's what I was.
I
That's what I
love
was gonna say,
Silverstein
'cause
though.
they're borderline.
Yeah, they're borderline. If it was like true pop punk, probably early Fall Out Boy.
I really felt, yeah. It's so
Maybe
good.
Good Charlotte. Good Charlotte
Yeah.
does it for me still.
Then
Those
there's
songs
like,
are great.
What about like after the torch passing? So you have like All Time Low, Boys Like Girls, The Academy Is,
Yeah.
all those bands, even Metro Station, kind of. They're super poppy, but
shake it.
yeah, they
Well, no, they're pop. They're pop bands. All of those are pop bands
Yeah.
that still have like the aura and still have
Yeah.
like they dress in the culture
yeah.
and like
They were the kids in high school when Green Day was coming out.
Yeah.
so they're
Yeah,
just
they wanted to make
poppy.
they wanted to make popular music, but they also like really like the lifestyle of pop punk.
Yeah, and that's like when
They're the kids that shopped at Hot Topic right when Hot Topic like started becoming a thing.
because now Hot Topic sucks assholes. Like it's so.
I went
lame.
I went into one on Valentine's Day.
And how was it?
I was fine. Well, I went in because
so
it was like
dumb
half
now.
off Harry Potter stuff.
Oh yeah,
It's a lot of Harry
it
Potter.
was never that kind of stuff before. It was
No, it was
just
dark.
bands. Yeah.
Well, it was also like dark shit.
Yeah, it's gotten brighter in there recently.
Yeah,
over the
like
last
that's
few
where
years.
that's where I went and bought like stud belts in 8th grade.
Yep.
Yeah.
Me too. I had a stud, dude.
Did you ever have the fake magnetic earrings?
No, that made you look like you had gauges.
No,
Oh.
not like gauges, but it was like well, I guess kind of.
I was such a pussy.
But
Everybody
yeah,
thought
I
I
had
should get gauges.
I had
was so scared.
that was like a big thing in middle school. Was like magnetic earrings.
Yeah.
and
So
I
many
used
people
to have a
wanted to
bunch of
have
them.
gauges, and I don't know if that's still a thing or not. Gauges, but
Gauges, I think they are, but people aren't doing like the crazy big ones anymore. They're just doing like small little gauges.
the drummer in the band that I had he had pretty fucking big gauges to the point where he could easily put his drumsticks through his ears.
Jesus.
I don't have double zeros,
aggressive.
maybe 0, 00. I never really do the sizes that well, but
I don't either, but like that like legitimately like fucks up your ears for life.
I think he made
Like
sure.
that's not a cool look whenever you're 80.
Well, he got right to the point where you could still come back. Because if you take them out, at a certain size,
starts growing
it's
back,
fine.
yeah.
They get back to normal.
But once you go too big,
Yeah,
they
the
don't
massive
come back.
circles. I knew a couple people with those, and their ears just like have this like droopy floppiness on the bottom.
Yeah.
It's just gross.
It's like the people that have, like the African tribes that put like those big plates in their mouths.
Yeah,
It's like they put one of those in their ear.
can they talk? Like,
I don't know. Actually,
I literally have no
that
idea.
thing and the neck thing I never really got.
No.
Like the neck rings to lengthen your neck.
No,
It's kind of strange.
but speaking of MCR being my favorite,
Yes.
you like them too. I don't want to say that. Yeah,
Yeah, I like the Black Parade album.
special. Yeah, well, their first album.
Would you put the White Stripes kind of in there?
See, they're
They're like kind of like MCR-y.
no,
Not like, it reminds me of the same time.
they're like rebellious looking, but they're not. Because then you like Franz Ferdinand and stuff like that too. That's like the same White Stripes stuff.
Yeah.
The Raconteurs, like the Killers.
Yeah, probably not.
No, I don't think that's pop punk. But I think
The Killers.
I love the Killers.
Killers
They're
are
so
great.
good. Yeah, but
Are they still doing? They still putting out music?
they did a new album not too long ago, and I wasn't a big fan.
Yeah.
It's not. Braden Flowers went solo for a while, and then he came back and just wasn't the same. I felt like
Oh, okay.
They're
Is that the-
great-
is
they're
that the lead
great
singer?
live.
Brandon Flowers.
Braden Flowers. Yeah, he's
Is he like Loris Tyrell?
yeah he's the Lord of Flowers.
Yeah.
Prince. What is it? Lord of Flowers.
Prince of Flowers.
Prince of Flowers. Yeah.
Yeah.
But speaking
Dude,
of
that shit
Gerard,
comes out in 2 months.
yeah.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I've been trying to watch back through it. And I need to like get back on that. I think I watched like the first 3, and then I might just skip season 1.
Whole season?
No, I'm watching the entire series.
Entire thing again?
But I might just skip season 1.
I've seen season 1.
I've seen it too many times,
So many times.
and I think that's the only because that
I
one.
just know I know every single beat of season 1.
Yeah, see,
It's just like at that point, it's just I don't want to watch
there's
it.
nothing good anymore. It's kind of the first episode's kind of good to watch because then you're like, oh yeah, this is where it started. But then I'm just gonna jump to season.
You got to watch like random seasons that like you haven't seen in a while, like season 4
I was
when
gonna
like
say
Jon Snow's
4.
like north of the wall.
Honestly,
with
yeah,
Mance
4
Raider and all that.
That's what I should do is 4 and on. But
Dude, season 7's so dope. I'm
speaking of-
rewatching it.
Speaking of watching shows in MCR, Gerard Way wrote a comic book back in the day. He's still writing it. They come out very sporadically because he's busy. Gabrielle Ba, that does the art, is busy.
Hasn't there only been like 30 of them?
Maybe.
It's like a very small number, right?
I think it's less than that. I think there's been like 18.
Wow.
It's called The Umbrella Academy.
Yes.
It came out in like 07. It was like the first comic book that came out while I was into comics that I got really into.
Yeah.
Like it was like, and it's the first creator owned one that I think that I got really into, but for sure. Because I was really only into like DC and Marvel at that point.
Is it a Dark Horse?
Dark Horse, yeah.
Yeah.
I say, yeah, and I like Gerard Way. That's the reason it got me into creative stuff.
Yeah,
because I was
MCR.
like, yeah, they posted it on their MySpace, and I was like super down to like, I was like, oh yeah, Gerard Way's wrote a comic.
That's like prime pop punk time too, 2007.
Oh, dude, they were like at their peak then.
Yeah,
Black Parade had
That's
just come out.
yeah.
They had just done the video.
Yeah, Black
for-
Parade I think was 2007.
It was 06,
Was it 06?
05 or 06 maybe.
I don't know.
But I remember like
out for you.
Teenagers was really big when that comic came out. You know that song Teenagers by them?
How does it go?
Teenagers scare the living shit out of me.
Oh yeah.
And
Very
so
famous song.
I remember that first issue coming out and being like, and the guy at the comic book store that I used to go
Black
to.
Parade 2006. You were right.
Yeah.
And their next album was The Black Parade is Dead.
Wasn't that like an EP or like a demo thing?
16 songs.
But I don't think it's
Oh, it's all live.
yeah,
it's a
our
live
album. Because then they did what was it called? It was like a weird name.
Danger Days. The
No.
True Lives.
True
of
Lives
the
of
Fabulous Killjoys.
Yeah, that's it. That was their last album.
No, they've had 2 albums since then.
No, they're not albums though.
May Death Never Stop You.
It's not an album.
That's an album.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it
I'm
isn't.
looking at it currently.
It's not an album.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
So-
Okay, sorry. Go on.
Yeah.
Umbrella Academy.
So Umbrella Academy. It's so.
Brand new Netflix show.
Well, I was gonna say I was gonna like build up the comics since we're not talking about one anyways. I was just gonna talk about it. Really quick.
Okay, fine.
I have it all. If you'd like to read it ever, by the way.
I still have so much to read.
Well, I'm saying I said ever. I don't mean now.
No.
What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so that came out in like 07. The first 5 issues were great. I think it was 5 or 6 were great. And then he was like, "Yeah, we're going to do 8 individual series like this." And it was supposed to be done by like 2010. Well, in that time, they've done a second one, and they're working on like the third one's coming out as we speak. So
Wow.
they have. I don't know.
So they're
why.
a little behind.
So behind. It's so good.
Only 10 years behind.
Yeah, they announced that it was getting adapted to TV like 2014. I think it was supposed to
that
go
long ago.
Well, it got bought by somebody. It wasn't Netflix at first, and I think Gerard and Gabrielle that he does the art. I think they kind of put their foot down and were like, "This is not what it should be." I think that's what happened because I know that's back when it got optioned for TV.
Okay.
It also could have just gotten put in like development hell for a little bit.
Yeah.
But Netflix got
just
in there.
Moving to different producers and showrunners.
Happens. And then you could get like Moneyball did that for a long time.
Yeah.
Moneyball got pushed
tossed around. And
Brad Pitt just kept trying to get it done.
Great fucking movie.
Oh, it's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
And now, yes, like you said, Netflix original. And it's such like an inspired way to tell a superhero story because none of them are really heroic at all.
No, they're all
number one, I guess, is, but.
Do you want number one? Is that Luther?
Luther, yeah. Do you want to break down sort of the story?
Yeah, so basically, I'll just start from the beginning of the episode, or beginning of the first episode.
Just a high level. It doesn't have to be the...
Okay, so...
Oh, boy.
Basically, at like one part in the world, 43 women all have... like immaculate conceptions, pretty much.
I mean, instant though.
Immaculate instant conceptions,
instant birth,
have kids, and this guy, like a super rich philanthropist, scientist guy, adopts 7 of them, and then tries to start training them to like access their powers.
Yeah,
and
it's like
he starts the Umbrella Academy.
Yeah,
and we pick up the story after his death.
Yeah, so they're all 30.
They're all they're all 30, exactly. And none of them have talked like forever. Yeah. And they all have they're all coming at each other with like all this deep rooted, like anger and hatred, towards each other
and their dad,
and towards their dad. Yeah.
So he's kind of what brings them together because they hate him together.
Yeah,
but then they all kind of hate each other.
Is that like the same thing in Jarhead? When Jamie Foxx's character, because he's like the lieutenant, right?
Yeah.
He makes everybody in the unit hate him
so that they
like to bring them all together.
Yeah, there's I feel like that's sort of like a trope that you see every now and then, people thinking like Nick Fury did that in Avengers.
Yeah.
Granted, like that,
but it was like with Coulson's death.
Yeah, and they knew that was going to be a thing to bring them together. They needed a reason to come together. Yeah. But yeah,
so that's just kind of how they all...
Yeah. The way they do it, though, it feels so much more natural than in that way for some reason. Like in the story, it's the same story.
They get family dynamics pretty well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because they all have such like realistic reasons for hating each other or being like... Or for like hating themselves, because their dad's a fucking awful person.
Yeah, he's a real tool. He doesn't name any of them. He just names them.
No, they gave themselves those names.
Yeah.
And there's more about the dad that you'll find out, I'm assuming next season, because they don't.
So you're already done with season 1?
Yeah. Yeah, okay. I finished it.
And I'm 5 episodes in.
You're halfway through.
Yeah.
But I've read everything that's come out comic-wise so far.
Okay. Is it fairly true to the comics?
I would say yes and no. The like stuff that they change, I don't want to spoil it, especially for you, but also because it's so new. It just came out a couple days ago.
Yeah.
But what I'll say is the stuff that they do change, they add in a plot line that I really, really like. And the stuff that they changed.
Is it the weird romance between Luther and Allison?
No, but
brother and sister?
No, it's
even though they're adopted. It's
a lot of the time travel stuff that they add in, like like Cha-Cha and Hazel and stuff.
Yeah. Cha-Cha, I didn't realize was Mary J. Blige the whole time.
Mary J. Blige, and then Hazel is Ed Kemper from Mindhunter.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I couldn't figure out where I
Mary J. Blige. How dope is that?
Yeah,
like one of the queens of R&B.
Well, she also she disappears into that role. Like I literally.
Oh yeah, he does too.
Yeah,
like I hate to say it.
Well, I didn't know. Whenever you just said that, I didn't know it was Ed Kemper from Mindhunter until you said that. And I was like, oh yeah, because I couldn't remember where he was from.
No, yeah. They both do a great job, and I like the acting is superb from a lot of those guys. Because like Luther he's
Tom
playing
Hopper,
yeah, he's British, and he's obviously he's a big dude, but he's obviously playing like. Do you know have you already figured out what his secret is? Like why he's so big? You've seen all that?
Yeah, that he died and he got like some sort of like Captain America serum thing,
but it was like a gorilla type of thing.
Yeah.
I really wondered if they were going to show that and stuff like that because at first he was like covered up and. I wondered if Pogo would be in it. He's an awesome
Pogo's
character.
Great, yeah.
Yeah.
Who plays him?
It is a British actor.
It's a famous actor, too.
Is he? He's been in stuff, but I don't think it's like a famous dude.
Maybe not super famous.
They nail him,
Adam
though.
Godley.
Yeah.
He's in Breaking Bad. He's in Suits.
Yeah.
He's a good character actor. Yeah, he's a British character actor.
A lot of those are unknowns though. Like Diego's like number 2. He's unknown.
Yeah, Diego's unknown.
Number 3,
Allison's
unknown. Yeah.
Klaus is unknown.
No, he's not.
But then you have Tom
Klaus
Hopper
has been in a lot
and you
of
have
stuff.
Ellen Page.
Klaus has been in a lot of stuff.
Has he?
He was in Misfits. He was in. There's another really big thing he did recently. But Misfits was a really big BBC show that a lot of people really liked.
Okay. Yeah, I've never heard of that one.
Oh, you would like Misfits actually. It's like a cool like BBC like superpower show. It's
Oh,
kinda,
okay.
but it's like like a darker spin on it.
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
I started watching a BBC show on Amazon. This has nothing to do with like anything.
Do it.
But it's John Malkovich. It's called like the ABC Murders.
Oh yeah, I haven't watched it. Is it good?
Yeah, no.
Oh okay.
I got like halfway through the first episode and was just like, boo.
Have you watched The Bodyguard?
I was so bored. I finished Bodyguard this
Did you
week.
like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, Bodyguard's good.
I thought it was really good. I thought it was really strong. Like
I didn't really
writing.
like the twist at the end. I would have liked it if it stayed with terrorism.
Yeah. Well, it does, but
kind of.
when you find out who's really behind it all.
Yeah. But yeah.
Umbrella Academy. I hate to say it, but they had to be this way. Like the music in it is incredible in it.
Yeah, the music's really fun.
But I think you have to do it that way when you're dealing with like a rock star being the guy that wrote your comic,
Tom Hopper, the guy who plays Luther, he's Dickon Tarly in Game of Thrones. He's Samwell Tarly's like older brother that gets burned.
Really nice. He's the one that's nice to Sam too. Like remember when Sam brings Gilly back, and his dad's a huge asshole.
Yeah, but the brother's nice.
Yeah. He does get. I forgot that's who he was.
Yeah, then they get burned by the dragons
in season 7.
Oh boy!
I'm trying to remember what that other character. That
he's in
Klaus
Knights of
plays.
Badassdom too.
Oh, is he really?
Have you seen that movie?
No, but I know what it is.
Oh yeah, Summer Glau, Peter Dinklage, Ryan Quanten, Steve Zahn.
What a cast!
It's a really dumb movie.
Yeah.
Do you know like the basic premise of the movie? Yeah.
Well, the one person we haven't mentioned is the most famous, Ellen Page.
Yeah, Ellen
she's
Page.
in it. Yeah. She's Vanya, and I hate to say it, but that is like such perfect casting. I shouldn't hate to say it, but I feel like it's like when you read Black Nick Fury in the Marvel Ultimate Universe, and you're like, that's clearly Samuel L. Jackson. Yeah. Vanya is like, I feel like she's so in the comics. You're like, Ellen Page she's very like just kind of plain and
perfectly
like,
cast.
Yeah, just kind of plain and like, just like I'm just very average. Like I don't want to be
anxious, kind of like a subdued personality.
Yeah, and it's
subdued.
It's not her fault. You know what I mean? You figure out all the reasons that like they kind of did that, like, they sort of put her in that position. But
yeah,
there's just
the dad and all of her family,
all of her siblings. Yeah. Pogo knew. The mom knew. The mom's an android.
Yeah,
the mom's a robot.
Yeah. Wait, what do you mean they knew?
Well, like the dad, they didn't know, but they just like fell in line with the dad and like kept making her be like, there's like pushing her away.
Yeah, because everybody has like very specific superpowers.
Right. She has nothing.
And she has nothing. Possibly.
Yeah. What do you mean
she
possibly?
might have something.
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I mean, I know what happens.
Well, after she wins oh, wait, is Leonard?
No.
No? No. After she gets first chair in the orchestra and then she's walking down the street and all the lamps bend.
Maybe.
Does she have
trying
powers?
Not to spoil anything for anybody, man.
Well,
you're doing a terrible job.
Well, this isn't going to come out this week.
Oh yeah, we got a while, right? Till this comes out.
Yeah, it'll probably come out.
She definitely has powers.
Yeah, it'll come out probably like a month after the show came out.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she does.
So it'll come out in like a couple weeks.
So as you all know by now, Vanya has powers.
Okay, yeah. Is she the most powerful out of all of them?
Oh yeah, it's not even close.
Yeah, because that's what I assumed.
Yeah, and that's the part. That's like she's the crux of the original plot line for the first comic series.
Okay, and
she kind of is now too. But I like the way they do it, where like that's just season 1. I like that they kept that like
the first like comic book run is just season 1 of the show.
Pretty much, yeah, pretty much.
Okay,
it's very well adapted.
So is she the reason why the apocalypse doesn't happen, or does the apocalypse still happen? I'm assuming that's because I don't remember seeing her.
Rephrase your first question. Like, is she the reason the apocalypse doesn't happen, or is she the reason that it does?
Oh, so is she the reason that it does?
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought that's what you're asking, but you.
It's not what I was at. Well, it was because
you assumed she was a good guy.
Yeah. Oh, does she go against the family? It makes sense. Makes sense.
As you guys know by now.
Well, that makes sense now because they've set it up so much that like she is like an outside entity from this whole family, where she like even like wrote the book about the family.
Right.
And she gets
revealing way too much.
And then she also gets completely rejected by them.
Right. She's pushed out completely at that point.
Yeah. And then she slowly gets brought back on a little bit. Yeah.
Obviously the hardest one for her to convince is Diego, but he's also like the most like cagey of all of them anyways.
Yeah. He's a very like emotional, like brash guy.
Yeah. He's very.
Is brash the right word? I feel like
no, brash is good. I feel like, yeah, he's not like pulling his punches with what he's saying. I think you would have to give the nod to Klaus, who's number 4 as the best, like
performance.
I think. Yeah, that character. He's his power is that he can speak to and then conjure the dead.
Yeah.
And they do a good job in the show of like slow burning how exactly that's going to play out. How that really works.
Like when he's getting tortured by Hazel and Cha-Cha.
Yeah.
And then so it's after he has already detoxed from. Do we find out what he was doing? He was doing pills.
He was doing all kinds of shit.
Yeah,
he was doing whatever because
he was doing all the drugs.
He's scared of the dead, kind of like he's scared of this power.
Yeah, he's using all of these drugs and substances just to mask this communication. And once he detoxes, then he's able to like fully let them in and not be afraid of the dead and kind of embrace
and that's
it.
Just scratching the surface, the stuff that you saw in that motel room. Yeah, and also we should mention number 6, who is Ben. He's dead. Their brother's dead when the show starts.
Yeah, but Klaus
sees him.
Yeah, Klaus still communicates with him and has like actual like relationship with him.
He's the only one.
Always changing.
And you always see him talking to somebody like in the background of stuff all the time, like when they're all together and stuff. What?
I just grabbed the back of your couch and there's just hair.
It's from that hanging thing.
Okay. I thought it was like an animal.
No,
I thought I just grabbed a handful of cat hair.
No. It's that stuff. It comes off all the time.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay.
But so like if you look in the back of scenes, it's such great acting because he's having conversations. Like you don't notice him, but he's just talking to Ben.
Yeah.
It's really well done. Like performance is very nuanced. Have you seen the bit where he time travels yet?
Yeah. He goes back a year in the past,
and you know where he went, like and everything.
No. Oh.
Yeah.
He went to like Vietnam,
to Vietnam, yeah.
Yeah, and they fell in love and
yeah, it's fucked up, man. So wait, you're past episode 5, I think.
I think I finished episode 5.
Oh, is that it? Okay.
So I think I'm on 6.
Also and this is something I've really been noticing how important it is, but like the like set design, like production design, all of that, and that show is impeccable. It's like vaguely the 50s, maybe the 80s, maybe like now.
Yeah.
And it's just so it kind of makes it its own world. Like it does a great job of making it its own thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
you don't really know when
like everything is kind of across time. Like you don't really know what you're seeing and when.
It could be a few different time periods all at once. I think I love it. And I think,
well, especially like the house is also like it's identical and like in present day.
Yeah. Nothing changes.
Yeah, and like back in whenever they were all growing up.
Yeah, and they wear these like little school uniforms when they're kids. But number 5 comes back. He's a time traveler.
Yeah,
and he's still a little kid.
Still a kid, but he's lived an entire life in this like alternate reality.
He's older than all of them combined. Not combined, but older than all of them.
Yeah, he just started working for the commission in the episode that I just finished.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so Kate Walsh.
Yeah, Kate Walsh. Kate Walsh is great.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a great actress, and then she's just like randomly like this small character in here.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
But
I love that actors are doing that now.
What?
Like just really good actors are doing like bit parts on TV shows because they know that like Netflix is going to get a lot of eyes on it.
Or even
like Kate Walsh could be doing like big movies, but instead she took probably weeks or like months off to do. Probably not.
No.
Probably weeks though.
To do Umbrella Academy?
Yeah.
Yeah. I bet like 2 or 3 weeks she probably shot. But you have, you're right. I like that. That's cool.
Yeah, like big actors are just doing
bit parts.
It's like, like Julia Roberts on like an Amazon Prime show now. And like just like random, like big actors are doing TV, like, and then high level TV too. Yeah.
And I think now you've bridged that gap. It used to be TV and movies were like one, they were two different worlds, but they were also on different levels.
Yeah, it was like if you were a failing actor, like you would go to television,
right? And
now it's like if you are a movie actor and you're looking for something different and want to delve deeper into a character, you go to TV. It's not like I'm taking a step down. It's like, no, I want to get deeper into a role.
I think the first one that really started it was True Detective. I think McConaughey and Woody Harrelson doing that really. Well,
I mean, yeah, I'll agree with that. In the current iteration of kind of what television is,
right? Because who did it before them? Who really? What massive actors really changed that game the way that
when Woody Harrelson did Cheers?
Yeah, when he started his career.
Yeah,
before he had done movies.
Yes,
because then he did White Men Can't Jump.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, not many.
I'm trying to think of it because I was thinking of another Netflix show or anything that came out before that, but there's nothing yet.
House of Cards. House of Cards, you can argue. House of Cards came out before.
That's true. It's Kevin Spacey.
Oh,
and I'm blanking on her name.
Kate Mara.
No, his wife. She's a huge actress. Damn it!
Fuck.
Princess Bride. Dude. Robin Wright.
Robin Wright.
Shit.
Jesus.
Yeah, you're right. House of Cards is probably a good one. I was gonna say Orange Is the New Black, but there's not really anybody in that.
There's not many super famous people.
Dude, I just saw that girl, Taylor Schilling. That's the main girl in Orange Is the New Black. I
have never seen that show.
Well, she's the main girl. You've probably seen the blonde girl that's on.
Yes. Yeah.
I just saw her new horror movie that came out called The Prodigy.
Is it good?
Oh, so bad.
Oh, so bad?
Dude, can I tell you what the plot was?
Yes. I won't see it anyway. I hate horror movies. They scare the shit out of me.
I know. I can't believe I still they used to scare the shit out of me, and I cannot believe that I've never watched a horror movie with you. I feel granted you would talk through it, so it probably wouldn't be that scary. But the plot is you start the movie with a man in a house, and this girl is this. You see a man who's sitting naked in a house, and you're also intercutting between a girl out of breath and sweaty, sprinting through this field towards a highway, okay. And she gets off, she finally stops his car. This lady spins out and is what's wrong? And she's like, he took my hand. Her hand's been cut off. And then it cuts back to the guy, and a SWAT team is moving in, and he's naked, and he runs outside and is holding his hands up. He figures out she's gone, and he holds his hand up, and they shoot him dead. They think he has something behind his back, and it's I forgot what it is. Anyways, at the same time, this couple is giving birth. This lady's having a baby, and then the baby's super smart, and so you figure out that this is
baby, the consciousness of the guy transferred in the baby,
reincarnation.
Fuck you,
dude. But
another movie has already done that.
What movie? I'm sure it has. I just don't know which one.
It's a fuck. I'll have to remember it, but it's the same thing where it's a famous serial killer dies, and on the night that he dies, 8 kids are born.
Oh,
and one of the kids has all of his consciousness, but the entire time you're trying to figure out who it is.
Oh, that's kind of more interesting.
And one of the characters is a murderer.
Because in this one, it's they get told very expositionally, pretty early in the movie. This guy's it's actually the guy that plays Reginald Hargreaves in Umbrella Academy, the billionaire guy.
Oh,
it's him. And he's have you ever heard of reincarnation? He's your son's soul is in a battle with this dude, basically.
Yeah.
And so it's just really bad because there's this scene where the kid is sitting at a desk in his room. So basically he's they think that he's this prodigy kid, this kid that is thinking in the 99.9th percentile of people.
My Soul to Take is the movie I was trying to think of. Yeah,
I remember 2010. That movie. I never saw it, but
it's just
meh. This one's bad. And there's a scene where this kid who's supposed to be super smart. They don't really tell you if he's super smart or if he's smart because there's an adult and occupying his mind at different points. They kind of flip back and forth who's got control of his mind. But there's a scene where the mom slowly walks up to the room and she's worried if she's I forgot what his name is, but she's honey, and he's sitting at his desk with his back to her, and he turns around and it literally is a little kid's body, but the old man's face on his face. It looks so funny. It looks fucking hilarious, dude. It's so stupid, man. And at the very end, basically what happens is they're trying to figure out he has unfinished business, and the only way he'll let your son go is if he gets to finish his business. And so he like the girl that escaped that had her hand cut off. They like go to her house, and this woman is about to like kill her. The mom is to be like, save my son, I'm gonna kill you. And then the son shows up, and he's like, which eye? Like he's got heterochromia, and he's like, which eye do you like more? And he just fucking stabs this woman to death.
What the fuck?
And then the mom.
This movie sounds terrible.
Oh, it's so bad. So then the mom chases him out to this field with a gun, and he's like, your son's been dead for weeks. And she's about to shoot him. And then
what a twist.
And then
but then she's like, I can't kill my kid.
Oh no, she's about to kill him, and then this farmer kills her, and the little kid acts like he was like in trouble. He's like, oh my God, thank you for saving me. But the dad's still alive.
And is it just like, the kid survives and he like goes with the farmer, and then he does like a weird look to camera, fade to black. Is that
well, fade to black, then fade back up, and he's getting to stay with like family friends, and they're like, "This is just until your dad can come back out of the hospital because he'd gotten stabbed and like thrown out of the car basically in a car accident that the kid caused." And so that you can just tell the kid's like smiling in his room, like looking at the camera, like, "I'm gonna kill my dad." Not my dad.
I hate this movie.
And then they look, and then
what is it called?
It's called The Prodigy, and then it's the last scene is him. The last shot is him looking in the mirror, but in the mirror it's the serial killer, and the kid is looking in the mirror. And you're like, oh,
what a
we
twist.
knew this the whole time. Oh, shit.
I think like the last like real horror movie I watched wasn't really a horror movie.
What movie?
It was Cabin in the Woods. I'd never seen it.
Oh, so good. I think
that movie is fucking amazing.
Love it.
But that reminded me.
It's a comedy.
It's a comedy.
It's a dark, dark comedy.
But it reminded me of it because I just watched Bad Times at the El Royale.
What'd you think?
Meh.
Yeah. I would say
it's just kind of like a meh.
Yeah,
it's a slow mover. I like that it I love Drew Goddard's work, like the themes that he works with, of like surveillance and like other people controlling kind of like what's going on and like conspiracies.
Yeah, he kind of always has this Big Brother thing going on.
Yeah. So I like all that kind of stuff, but that movie was just kind of like.
Yeah, it
didn't really do anything for me. Chris Hemsworth character is pretty funny. He's not in it.
Great.
He's not in it enough.
No,
Jeff Bridges' performance is phenomenal.
Yeah, he's always amazing. That's what I was gonna say. He's always great. John Hamm's good.
John Hamm's good.
He's always good too, though.
Also not in it as much as I would like to see.
No, I feel like
he has like this whole other storyline that's not really related to anything, but it's just like,
and they don't really finish it up. I don't feel like. Oh, no, I guess they
never really wrap it up.
No, and but it's also clearly not a movie that's going to get a sequel. Like it didn't feel like it was going to either.
No,
so I'm like, what? I don't know. It felt like they kind of dropped his storyline.
Yeah, it was like literally they just like they built up like this like a couple like layers of scaffolding.
Yeah,
to start working in like this big conspiracy, like weird like crime thriller thing, and then they just kind of like hit it with a fucking baseball bat at the legs and just take it down.
Yeah, that's where it kind of dropped me was the third act. But I mean,
yeah, it's almost like Drew Goddard had like 4 really good stories, and he was just like he had like 4 scripts he's working on, and he was also like, I also have this like El Royale one, so let's just put all those stories into this one.
No, you're right. I think what he should have done,
it feels like little vignettes like of each character.
What he should have done is just done like a Buster Scruggs thing.
I still haven't seen it.
So great. I don't know. Are you a Coen fan, right? Coen Brothers fan?
I like them. I
mean, actually, have they ever done a bad movie?
I never watched Hail Caesar.
Is that them?
Yeah, that's them too.
I feel like people really like that movie, though.
Did they?
I thought people do think
Josh.
It's funny.
It's Josh Brolin,
George Clooney.
Is John Alden
Ehrenreich? Alden Ehrenreich's one of the big guys in it.
Oh,
that's what got him the part in Solo as Han himself.
Oh, I almost thought that was Baby Driver. What's that guy's name? It's similar to it.
Ansel Elgort.
Ansel Elgort.
And they actually kind of look similar too, a little bit, like at a passing glance. Baby Driver is such a good movie. But no, Coen Brothers.
Yeah, they've done so much.
Dude, they're fucking
Buster Scruggs, Hail Caesar, Inside Llewyn Davis, True Grit.
Yep.
A Serious Man, which I still haven't seen.
That's a great movie.
I still haven't seen Llewyn Davis or Hail Caesar.
Oh, dude, Inside Llewyn Davis is Oscar Isaac.
Or Buster Scruggs. Jesus.
Buster Scruggs.
I haven't seen their most recent 3. Or 4 out of the most recent 5. Burn After Reading's great. No Country for Old Men.
It's so weird that they did No Country for Old Men and...
fucking Oh Brother.
And Big Lebowski.
The original Fargo.
I was going to say Fargo. Dude, their list is insane.
Yeah. Raising Arizona.
Is that their first one? Is Raising Arizona like their first big movie?
Yeah. It was 2 shorts, something called Blood Simple.
I don't know that one.
Well, it was, so they did a short in 1970 and 1971, then a feature in 1984, and then Raising Arizona in 87.
How old are they?
I don't know. I didn't think they were that old.
Doing movies in the early 70s. I wonder if they were kids or something.
Yeah. They would have been 14.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Because like Spielberg did that too. That's what Super 8 is
It's
about.
on his IMDb?
No, it's not on his IMDb, but maybe. But that's
Holy shit, Ethan Coen is one ugly son of a bitch.
yeah,
Oh my god.
Yeah, you can, yeah.
Jesus. He has the chompers of a great white shark.
But he and Joel, man, they can do it.
Jesus.
But
God,
oh yeah,
fucking
so
weird looking.
we'll finish up on Umbrella Academy, but basically it's really good.
It's really
Give it
good.
a shot.
It's a must watch probably.
Especially if you're into that stuff.
If you're into what we talk about in this podcast, comic books and
I feel
fun
like you
TV shows.
you could probably like it even if you're not into comics.
I've never
or
read the
superhero
comic and I'm
stuff.
into it.
Well, no, I meant like even if you're not into like superhero stuff. I feel like it's not as much
It's
about
not
that.
really superhero-y at all.
Yeah. Like it feels like it should be, but it isn't.
Yeah, it's like a little fringy too. Kind of feels like fringe a little bit.
Yeah, it plays with time a lot.
Yeah.
But then I also watched something that you've been trying to get me to watch for a while. So I finally watched it.
We talked about it on last week's podcast.
We mentioned it, yeah.
It is, I think, the greatest documentary of the last 5 years.
I don't know.
It's so good. Abducted in Plain Sight on Netflix.
I think it's definitely the most jarring.
Yeah. It certainly has the most M. Night Shyamalan twists.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
it's not even, they're not like twists like they are, but they're also like, sorry, okay.
You literally,
Oh my God.
if anybody wrote this like documentary as a film,
Yeah, you'd hate it.
like you could not suspend your disbelief
No.
enough. Like it's so ridiculous.
The characters are so stupid that you would be like, this is the worst movie I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But then it's real life.
It's real life. So
Yeah, set it up.
one thing I love about this documentary is that everybody's still alive. Everybody can still talk about it.
Except the perpetrator.
Except the perpetrator.
Who wouldn't talk about it anyways, probably.
Everybody's like doing well.
Yeah.
Like everybody seems to have been like,
Yeah.
holy fuck, that was a really fucked up thing that happened to us 40 years ago.
Yep.
But now like we're all good.
I guess.
Basically, here, I'll do
go ahead.
a brief synopsis. Basically, there's these two families that are neighbors. They're very good friends. The way they set it up in there is that like each person in the family had a best friend like within the other family.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those two like just very close knit, do everything together families.
Parents are tight.
Parents are tight. All the kids are tight. Very tight. All the kids are tight. But the dad in one of these families is a serial pedophile. To put it bluntly.
Is he a serial pedophile?
Yes, because he was arrested multiple times for.
You're right.
He had
they talk about
like
that.
his MO was befriending families and then using that friendship to molest their daughters.
But what they make it very clear, they make this very clear. No other family until this point had been stupid enough to let him get away with the shit he got away with in this one.
Yeah.
I hate to call them stupid because of what happened to them, but at the same time,
They are
fucking dumb.
utter dummies.
Dude.
There is multiple kidnappings from this pedophile guy of their daughter.
The first one is like almost like half a kidnapping because the parents were like, yeah, go ahead. She can leave with you.
Is it the Mexico one?
No. Yeah, that's the first
Okay.
one. Yeah.
So the first time he kidnaps this girl.
Yeah. Well, you should set it up a little bit more like...
It's not necessarily a kidnapping.
Basically what happens is this guy becomes such good friends with this family that he starts like they start allowing him to like interact with the kids on his own, just one-on-one, sleep over with these kids, like especially the one girl Jan that he fixates on.
Yeah.
They don't really understand it. And you have to also set up, this like close-knit small town in Idaho where they don't...
Is that where it is?
In the 70s,
Idaho?
yeah. Where they don't lock their doors. Everybody's super tight. They're all, or at the very least, cool with each other.
Everybody's very trusting of their neighbors.
So trusting.
Yeah.
Very, like, not super religious, but also very spiritual, it seems like. They don't seem like they're overly religious. But
there's definitely a religious like undertone
to be
throughout the whole thing.
The way that they act about stuff. And so then, go ahead from there.
So so this guy B,
he says he's going to take her horseback riding.
He's going to go take her horseback riding. Then it comes with so he takes her out horseback riding, and then Jan comes to, and she's like in a trailer.
Yeah.
Like hundreds of miles away. And this is her account of the thing.
Forgot about the aliens.
Hundreds of miles away. And he starts convincing her that
it's so not funny, but
that it's like all of her family is aliens or something weird, or like aliens are coming.
That he and her are aliens, and that they have a mission.
Oh yeah, and their mission is to like repopulate or something like that.
Their alien planet.
Yeah,
I think.
So he starts molesting her pretty hard.
There's Zeta and Zethra are the
Zeta and
Zethra that they're connecting with.
All right, we should also preface this with I watched this like 3-4 weeks ago.
Yeah,
and you just watched it yesterday.
She comes to, and he has a recording next to her where these two aliens talk to her first, and it's clearly him, like on like,
it's like him putting on a voice.
Yeah, going
like you will be our, like you will repopulate our planet.
Okay, now Jan, listen to this recording.
You are all aliens.
He's a master manipulator, though, because what he did was he was like, "You've been like they've taken like he set it up so that like she thinks they've taken me, they've put me in this place, and there's this mission. I'm 12, I think is what she was.
Yeah, something like that
at first, and then like there's going to be a male like counterpart that I'm going to find here in a second. I won't know who it is, and I have to repopulate this planet with this guy." And she goes out, and it's this like this man who's like a second father to her.
Yeah,
and she's like, "Oh, thank God."
Yeah, thank God it's like not like some random person.
It's fucking insane, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So after all this, B takes Jan to Mexico.
You also have to let them know he set this up so that it looks like they were kidnapped. He drove his car out into the middle of nowhere.
Oh, and then he abandons it.
Yeah, he knocks the glass out, cuts himself so it looks like they were kidnapped. Like there's blood all over the car,
and then just brings her in a trailer.
Gets in a motorhome.
Gets in a motorhome.
Yeah, that they had, and so they've been gone. Like they just don't come back ever.
They've been gone. They've gone for like 2 weeks, right?
Gone for, at this point, it's like a couple of weeks, but
yeah,
it turns into months.
No,
I think it does turn into months.
I thought the first one was weeks.
It might have been like I think it was like a month or two. The FBI was like,
yeah,
looking into it for a long time, and then he calls. So the guy calls his brother and goes, "Hey, I want you to call her family and tell them we can't come back unless they allow us to get married."
He's
we got married in Mexico.
He's like, yeah, we're married here.
Yeah,
but I'll be arrested if we come back to the States. So have like the parents say yes,
and they're like, no.
Yeah.
He is also, I don't want to be this graphic about it, but he's also such a mastermind in terms of like disgusting like pedophilia that he made sure that to like not like rape Jan to the point where they could prove that she had been raped.
Yeah.
It's fucked, dude. It's such a level of disgusting that I didn't even know existed. I should have known.
He's like, let's just stick the tip in.
Literally, yeah.
Yeah.
And he would do that as much as he wanted because he knew that they couldn't prove that she was raped.
Yeah.
And he knew that he had her under his control. What a fucking awful human.
Yeah. So basically...
Yeah, that's just the first one.
So basically they come back to the States. The parents don't press charges.
No. Oh, yeah, you need to preface. So before he took her the first time, he became so close with the parents that he wanted to make sure that like he could get as close to them as possible to gain more access to Jan. So what he did was he started manipulating the mom to the point where they were having an ongoing affair. Then he manipulated the dad into giving him like a hand job at one point.
At least a hand job.
I think it might have happened more than once. They sort of imply that there was more than one.
The dad was blowing him on a regular basis.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. They don't.
It's one of the weirdest things ever. He's like the dad is like, I was hanging out with B. We were in his car, and he's like,
I just need to get relief.
I'm just backed up. I need some release.
It's
and
just
he's
kid
like,
stuff.
And he's like, so.
Which makes it sound like
I helped him release.
I hate to say it, but when he says it's just kid stuff, it makes it sound like that's what just little boys were doing all the time, jacking each other off.
What did you do when you were a little boy?
I only jack people. Nobody jacked me off. I jacked them off, but nobody ever jacked me off.
Did you ever jack off in the same room as like your friends?
No.
You never did that?
No.
Oh, that was like a middle school thing where it was like...
Did you do that?
Yeah. A bunch of guys that could come over and everybody would watch like Cinemax and have
did that.
and have like blankets like over their laps.
Actually,
and people were like touching and rubbing their dicks.
Yeah, we never did that. Well, we never did that bit of it. We would watch like Skinamax at night, but like then everybody would kind of go to different bathrooms. I feel like
and jerk off.
Yeah. That's such like a 13-year-old boy thing to do.
That's so weird.
Oh God.
I feel like every boy does
You're
that.
so sexually like repressed at that point.
Dude, especially like
it explodes on you and you don't understand what's happening.
Oh my God. Dude, the level of boners in middle school.
Yeah.
Like the kind where it hurts.
And you don't really get it either.
No. Like you're so hard that like you think your dick is going to explode.
It's the weirdest thing.
We're like, and then it's then it's like, would you please stand up and do something?
Like, no.
And you have to figure out a way in like that moment to like
tuck it in your pants. Like
try to tuck it in.
Yeah.
Like I remember like even being in high school. And it was like the bell would ring to go to a different class, and I was completely hard.
Yeah,
and I would have to like I just slowly put all my books away.
Yeah, it's so weird too because like you were hard thinking about like girls that were your own age then, but you can't look back fondly on those memories because that is gross now.
Speak for yourself.
Do you know what I mean though? Like obviously it's okay when you're that age, but then now you're like. Ugh.
Of course it is.
It's not like good. So then you just look back and you're like, I was like this like little like hormonal, sexually like repressed child that was just like hard all over the place.
Well,
I remember there's a girl that I was best friends with in middle school, and then also again like in college for a long time, and I grew up in the same house for 18 years, and she bought that house. Like she now lives in that house. And she told me that she was buying it, and she's like, "Do you have any advice?" And I was like, "Don't ever take a black light to any room in that house." I hate to say that. I was just like, I'm sure I was just jacking off everywhere. Everybody was. I'm sure you were jacking off all the time when you were that age.
Of course. just rub your dick on anything.
Dude, when I discovered 89.com, do you remember that website?
89.com.
It was like the first video streaming porn site that ever existed.
I don't remember the first video streaming one I was on. It was probably like XNXX or like X videos.
Angel Fire was like a big one people liked.
Well, one of my first ones was just like LimeWire downloads.
Oh,
where
yeah.
we had like those kids that had like kind of like businesses, not really, but you'd like give them like $5
and they'd get porn for you.
Yeah, and they would download porn,
put it on a DVD.
Put it all on a DVD.
Yep, it was in the case for The Girl Next Door.
Oh, okay.
I had like 4 DVDs in there, so if you picked it up, all of a sudden you just hear like 15 of them bouncing around in there, and you're like,
Yeah, I think my parents found all mine.
My parents never did.
I had a couple DVDs.
I never did it. I never could.
I think one of the first websites I went on was whitehouse.com.
White House.
Yeah, that's still like premature or like pubescent. Is that the right word?
I hope not.
Like pubescent internet.
Oh, I think like pubescent girls. I was like,
no.
Oh, I hope that's not the right word.
With like pubescent. Yeah, that's like pubescent. Like
early days internet.
Early days internet. Like still going through puberty.
Pubescent.
But that's when the White House like didn't have all the other White House.
Websites?
Yeah,
URLs.
So yeah, if like a kid would be like trying to like go to something and you type in like whitehouse.com, what's the government doing? And it would just be hardcore porn.
I remember I accidentally put an extra O in Google one time. And it took me to a massive, virus laden porn site accidentally.
Jesus Christ.
Google. It's 3 O's. Dude. Oh.
Dude, some of those old sites were just fucking computer cancer.
Also, LimeWire, like some of the videos that you would download would accidentally be like disgusting. Like,
well, because that's before you had any previews. Like now, like on Pornhub, you have like thumbnails.
Well, and I hate to say it, but like child porn and shit like that, Pornhub doesn't allow that.
Ew, what?
LimeWire, I never had this.
Child porn?
I never did.
Nick,
no.
What is wrong with you?
One of my friends apparently told me that he downloaded something one time and he opened it and he was like, I literally closed it and like turned my computer off.
Jesus.
He said that wasn't like the title of the thing. It was
dark.
It said like it was like, a 20-year-old girl blows something or something like that. But he opened it and it was like not good. And I was like, dude.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, but LimeWire, I hate to say it, but you don't know what you're getting.
Yeah, it's just a title of a video.
It's fucked up, man. And it also would just eat your computer.
Okay, back to Abducted in Plain Sight.
Dude, we're going back to something even grosser.
Yeah. Yeah, we're talking about all this, and the real story is so much more fucked up.
Dude, I can't even.
Okay, so we left off. B.
So he's fucking the dad. He's fucking the mom.
Yeah.
He's in love with the little girl.
Yeah.
And he's taken her. They finally come back.
And the FBI is like, press charges. Do not let this family like ever around you again.
And they're like, no.
And they're like, no, we're still best friends.
Because so the guy comes back, he gets back with his wife, and the wife tells the family, I need you to sign these affidavits saying you're not going to press charges against my husband, or we're going to come out that your husband's a homosexual and your wife and the wife are having an affair.
Yeah, and they're like,
which at that point, if he had come out that he had done something homosexual, that would have been like 70s, devastating, unfortunately, for their lives.
Small town in Idaho.
Not good.
Very conservative religious area.
Yeah, that would have been devastating for his life.
Brutal.
Yep. And so then the wife, they come back. The wife starts up the affair again, and then the husband finds out about it, and the husband finally at this point the husband's like
we need to separate. Yeah.
Well, and the husband's also starting to realize like, okay, this is not good. I don't know why it took this long for him to realize, okay, this is not good. But then they let her start hanging out with that guy again though for a while.
No, you forget the part where B goes to therapy.
Oh,
and he has a doctor. I'm air quotes on doctor because I'm almost positive he wrote it. That he needs to spend time and sleep in the same bed as Jan, because when he was a little kid, like he took care of his like little sister. So whenever he is like feeling down, he has to spend time with little girls.
And they're just like, sure.
And they're like, yeah, that makes complete sense.
Yeah, you're right.
This says doctor on it.
Yeah. I forget what the breaking point is then for the dad. At some point, he's like not cool with it. Oh, it's when he finds out that the wife is cheating. That's what it is.
Yeah. They like want to get separated
but then they decide to stay together.
For the kids.
Yeah. And
I mean, they're clearly doing a bang up job.
They're awful parents at that point.
They're terrible.
So then
it's the worst parenting of all time.
Yeah. And so
it has to be.
Then Jan and B run away together again.
Yeah.
Because Jan's in love with this guy. Like Jan is like
she's been writing love letters. She wants to have his babies.
The mission is still going on for these aliens. Like she's
fully brainwashed.
Yeah, and she's like starting to like turn on her family a lot at this point because they won't like let her see him. So she runs away
with him.
Yeah, right.
I think so.
Because man, it's so hard to. It's so like hard to understand.
Yeah. Well, because there's so many kidnappings and so many like weird relationship.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Things.
He takes her again.
Yeah, he kidnaps her again.
Yeah, and long story short, basically at this point, she comes back again at one point for a while, and she runs away, to like go be with him. And it's not until she's like 15 or 16, she said, that she starts to figure it out.
Yeah, she's like 16 and she goes like away to a camp.
And that's when she figures
an orchestra
it out,
camp. And then she like meets a boy.
And he buys her an ice cream.
Yeah.
And she's like, he's going to die now. And like my sister's going to go.
Yeah.
Remember, she's like, my sister's going to go blind. My dad's going to die. My mom is going to have something happen.
She's cheating on B.
Yeah. And so she calls her mom right after this happens, and her mom's like, "Oh, it's been a fine day. Like the dogs are feeling a little weird because I let them eat something." And she's like, "Oh no,
the dogs are gonna die."
And then the next day, everything's fine, and she's like,
"Fine."
Oh shit!
And then also like B like loses interest because she's turning 16.
She's gotten too old. Yeah,
yeah. So the weird part about B is that he never goes to jail for any of this.
He served. No, he did. He served like 10 days at one point.
Oh yeah, 10 days, then like released.
Yep.
And then after that, like a couple years after this affair between Jan and B ends, he goes to prison for raping a 12-year-old. And guess how long he gets?
A year, right?
1 year.
Yeah.
1 fucking year.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
It's mind-blowing. The fucking 70s, man.
There's a bit there when she's run away.
You can get away with fucking anything.
In the grossest way, too.
Yeah.
There's a bit there where she's like run away and he's living in Salt Lake City and he's keeping in contact with her, but she won't talk to her parents. and he's calling them and giving them like updates. And remember, there's that bit where like at first the FBI have their phones tapped at this point, and she's like, the mom is like being cordial to him to try and just make sure everything's fine.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he's like, if you like, it shows time passing, like different conversations they're having, and then it shows. He's like, just so you know, if you're laying a trap for me, I'll kill you. And she's like, if you're doing anything to my daughter, I'll have you killed. I have 2 brothers that would do it. I'm like, how is that just now happening?
Yeah.
She's like 14. This has been going on for years, and you guys are just now like, you're a bad guy.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm sorry.
It's literally just the dumbest people. Oh my God.
Like, it is
it's the most
so
frustrating.
Crazy.
I will admit, I laughed at quite a bit of this documentary.
Yeah, it was hard not to. Like when
It's
the dad
so
is
ridiculous.
jacking him off and stuff, you're like, why, dude?
Yeah.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, I mean, it's after a kidnapping. It's after his daughter is being raped, and then the dad starts like jerking off the rapist. Like, it's like,
No,
what?
it was before that. The dad did that stuff before she was kidnapped.
I think it was after the first kidnapping.
No, it was before.
It was before?
Yeah. He's the one that wises up the soonest, but it's over a very slow a period.
It's still over a couple of years that he wises up.
Well, it's not until the first kidnapping, and then he never, he doesn't keep hanging out with him. But
Remember, they never pressed charges. The family never presses charges
because
against
of
him.
the gay relationship
stuff.
they had before the kidnapping. But the dad, I'm sorry, the dad tries to act like he's the one that got it first, but at the start picking up on it, and maybe he was. But if a man is just literally sleeping in the same bed as your daughter, you're jacking him off, you find out that he's fucking your wife. At what point do you say like, oh, this is very strange? I don't.
Yeah.
And then at what point?
I don't know how,
the worst
how
part,
this guy could be like, I guess he's like so charming or something.
I don't know. I don't get that. The worst part is 100% the bit where they come back from the kidnapping and he's like, well, I went to therapy and now I need to sleep with your daughter to get better. And they're like, you're right.
Cool. Sounds good. You're a friend.
I mean, it makes no sense.
Jesus Christ.
I wonder if the 2 sisters that she has and their 2 best friends from that family stayed in contact.
I don't know. Do you think they were jealous? Jan was getting all the attention.
Oh God. Oh fuck. I bet they weren't. But I feel like they wouldn't be able to
stay in contact with
the 2 the 2 daughters of B that would all the friends that they had in that family. I feel like, how do you?
I don't know, man.
I mean, granted, it's not their fault.
That's some heavy shit.
It's crazy, dude. You can't I don't even
Maybe
know.
B just loved fucking.
That's not it. It's so fucked up, dude. The aliens.
I think when she first started talking about Xenu and Zethra, I think I was almost crying out of laughter.
I just remember I was like,
well, because it's also her telling it. It's so I was drugged and in this thing, and he's like, and then we started talking about aliens.
They came on and they were telling me what was happening, and I was like, wait, no. I remember thinking, oh, this is when she's like, wait, this is fake. But she's like, and I believe
she's fully in.
She's 12, I think, or 11. So I get it.
But
you're
I mean,
isolated.
What a dummy.
Dude. You know what the craziest bit is remember that bit at the end where she just filed charges against him when she's speaking, and he shows up at he keeps trying to show up, and
so her and her mom
runs over a dude.
Her and her mom write a book together, about the whole thing, and then he tries suing her for defamation or something like that.
Yeah,
and then he's in court,
looking right at her, talking,
looking right at her, but also trying to flirt with her, not flirt with her, but he's like, I didn't do anything to harm you.
And then she gets him to admit right there. He goes I'm sorry for everything that I did to you.
Yeah.
And everybody's kind of okie dokie. Well, there it is.
One of the reasons why you can also feel very good about this documentary, the piece of shit killed himself.
He did.
Yeah. I think he hung himself.
So I don't remember.
I think he hung himself in a cell.
Yeah.
He got arrested for something.
I literally that end bit, I was literally just so flabbergasted. I kind of just zoned out a little bit, and I was looking stuff up about it.
Was it Bob Birchtold? Is that his real name?
Yeah.
Bob fucking Birchtold. What a cunt.
Hey, dude, he's the worst person. I mean,
Yeah, he's literally one of the biggest pieces of shit that there's ever been. Like, there's a special place. I don't even believe in hell, but there's like a special place in hell for this cunt.
At the very least, I hope there is. Like, if there's not a hell, I just hope he's really suffering.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I hope he's like literally getting fucking ass raped with a rusty spike.
I hope he's fisting his own ass. Can I tell people about my...
Yeah.
Okay. So I've decided I'm trying to start a new thing. I'm trying to make fetch happen to be the Gretchen Wieners of this podcast. I've decided I feel like when you tell people, like, when you're mad about something and you're like, you know what, suck my dick, or like suck a dick. Like, I feel like I just don't... I feel like you're kind of saying it like, you know, like you're saying it's insulting because like there's like you're like, yeah, that's stupid to like suck a dick, like, and that's like gay. So I think my new thing is going to be fist your ass, or fist your own ass is going to be, and I feel like that's got to be the new way, because I feel like it's not, there's no underlying like homophobia there or anything like that. It's more of just like a stick a fist into your own asshole. I mean, it's going to hurt. It's going to suck. No lube.
What do you mean hurt? Probably feels terrific. Stretching out the old sphincter muscles.
Well, see, I feel like this is not what it... When you say fist your ass, it's not like in parentheses I'm saying, okay, now take a couple months and really stretch your ass out and then get some lube and really just have a night with some candles and fist yourself out of pleasure.
You just got to use like some Astroglide, preferably a silicone lube.
I'm saying
that usually works the best for anal play.
What I'm saying is turn around, walk into a room, sit down, figure out which direction you want to go, and then fist yourself right in the ass. No lube, no nothing. Just stick it right in there.
Can I... Okay, that might be painful.
Yeah.
Can I... Because, like, I don't know if I have, like, the proper leverage to get my hand in my own ass.
Oh, you do.
Can I take a mold, like plaster of Paris, of my own fist?
No.
And then sit on that?
There is one scenario, and it is at that exact moment that I tell you, stick a fist directly into your own fist into your own ass.
Okay. No spit?
No. You just go straight in there.
Just dry?
Yeah. And that's why it's the best way to get back at someone.
God damn it. What if you have like a hairy asshole, that friction?
Right?
God damn it.
Exactly. Because you say suck a dick and it's like, it's probably not that bad. Like, you're probably helping somebody.
It probably tastes good.
I'm sure it tastes great.
You get a treat at the end?
Yeah, it's something desirable.
Yeah.
Like, we can all agree.
Yeah, you get a salty pudding as a dessert.
Yeah. Oh, really?
So I searched Bob Berchtold.
Oh, boy.
To see if he had a Wikipedia page to find out how he killed himself.
Does he?
Well, I'm on the second page, and some guy is very unfortunate. There is a real estate agent for Coldwell Banker whose name is Bob Berchtold.
Dude.
And he looks kind of like him. He has like the same comb over and glasses.
I hope it's not his son or something.
Here, look at this picture.
It really does kind of look like him. Holy shit.
Almost exactly like him.
Dude, that's so sad for that dude.
Yeah, he's like an old white man with a comb over.
Yeah, man.
Big old forehead, and I mean, he's got pedo glasses on too.
Dude, have you seen some of the memes that have come out of Abducted in Plain Sight?
No. I haven't seen them yet.
There's a really good one that says, when you would do anything for your friends, and it shows the dad like...
Mimicking giving him a hand job.
Well, he does. Yeah. Well, no, he's got his hands up. He's like shrugging, like. He's shrugging, like.
Abducted in Plain Sight meme.
Dude, there's so many good ones.
Interviewer, tell me about a time you went above and beyond for a friend.
That's the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah, and it's just him, like with like a. Oh.
There's some really good ones, dude.
This one says Firefest guy, and it's the picture of the guy who sucked the dick, and it says, I will have the most iconic Netflix movie screenshot in 2019. The dad from Abducted in Plain Sight. Hold my dick.
I know. Did you see the one that says, when you cheat on your wife with the guy she's cheating on you with, but he's actually cheating on both of you with your daughter? And it shows the dad shrugging. God. There's some...
This one says a review of Abducted in Plain Sight, and it's Stefan from SNL, and it says, this movie has everything. Affairs, intrigue, Mormons, tape recorders, hand jobs, theme parks, motorhomes, aliens.
Oh, God. Oh, wait.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
This one says, this is my summary of Abducted in Plain Sight. And then it's like, pedophile says, hey, guys, is it cool if I build a literal wall in your 12-year-old daughter's bedroom and also listen to weird sex tapes while lying in her bed? Parents, no problem, Robert. Sounds normal.
That one's just real.
That's literally what happened. Yeah. Oh my.
There's no irony in that one. That one is just,
dude, it's fucking insane.
There's a straight shot on that one.
Oh my god.
Jesus Christ.
I don't understand how I know that it's so obvious to say this, but this is one that goes, me watching Abducted in plain sight, and it goes, what, in parentheses, and I cannot stress this enough, the fuck. How do you not, how it's that therapy thing in the middle there. How do you know that a man kidnaps your daughter, takes her to Mexico, marries her, and then says, I want to marry her?
That's the real fuckery of that one.
And then he says, I'm in therapy, so I need to be able to sleep with her at night when I want to make myself get better.
Yeah, and he would literally
not know?
Come over, well, in a couple different instances.
for a couple different people, too.
Yeah, just whenever he wanted.
Yeah.
We should talk about this, the woman who made this documentary.
Yeah.
I mean, she produced it, directed it,
and shot it.
Wrote it, and shot it.
Yeah.
What a fucking champ this girl is.
Yeah.
Sky Borgman.
Apparently there's a deleted scene that I forgot what it says. I forgot. It's a big one, but apparently it shows the mom was threatening B at one point, trying to. They kept it out because I forgot why, but there's the mom tried to do more at one point, but it still doesn't change anything. Some people were like, this completely changes the way I view it, but it doesn't change anything.
Wow.
Really. They didn't do enough at all. The parents did not. The parents were just I mean, they're too busy trying to fuck him to figure out that he was trying to do much more than that to their daughter, and it's. God, I don't understand it. I mean,
yeah, dude, the girl who did this is mostly a DP on shitty projects.
You know,
dude, for real, I'd never heard of any of it. And then she's directed 4 things, and
that's
one of them was documentary, and then this one,
dude.
Yeah, good for her.
Yeah, man.
Just breaking out into the industry just with a real good one.
I mean.
Yeah, that's
I hate
great.
to say it, it doesn't require that much work. The story tells itself.
Yeah.
I don't.
But I mean, compiling all that shit.
No, yeah.
Because she also has a great part about it is that you also have all these letters that Jan wrote B,
audio tapes of him talking to her.
Yeah, audio tapes of all
when
that.
she's little.
Audio tapes of all the phone calls between them all.
Yep.
Or not all of them, but a lot.
Yeah,
of them.
all that stuff does great. But I mean, she's someone onto a story that just does it all by itself. All the legwork is there for you.
Amazing.
Because I mean, in a lot of those documentaries you watch, you can tell people are putting work into really putting the story together for you.
Yeah.
This one does not need that.
Yeah.
Because you have the parents saying all this shit where I'm sure she was like, this is gold. These fuckers are so stupid.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, it's really interesting. I'll bring it back to kind of what we were talking about earlier, the nature of the business and getting stuff made.
Were we talking about that earlier?
I take that back. I was editing an older podcast.
I was going to say, you mean months ago?
We were talking about that.
Yeah.
This project sat on the shelves for 2 years.
It's been done for that long?
It's been done. It was done in 2017.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and it just kind of had a really slow distribution process, just rolling out to festivals and all that kind of stuff. Weird. And then it really found its legs once Netflix picked it up. It's not like a Netflix original, but Netflix is just streaming it right now.
I mean, they're the place to be now, right? Netflix, if you want to do something, what?
I can't tell if you're being sarcastic. Of course it is.
Well, no, I don't. No, I'm not. It's not really sarcasm. I was going to say I mean more you could. I feel like you could make arguments for other places. Amazon's doing some good stuff. Hulu is too. Because Netflix, you could argue, is oversaturated, but I feel like A24 is also a great place to be if you're an upcoming filmmaker. There's a lot of good places, but I'm HBO. Well, Netflix, I think, has to be the number
Netflix just has the most eyes on it, by far. Nothing's even close to it.
Yeah.
HBO still probably, I think HBO probably has, it's probably in 15 million homes.
Well,
15 million people probably have it.
They don't flop ever, really.
No, their only real cancellations are shows that are good but aren't financially viable.
Oh yeah,
Rome and Deadwood, stuff like that.
Yeah, you're right.
But yeah, they don't really make bad TV.
But they also don't do very many projects.
No,
they only have a couple shows going at one time.
Shows a year, yeah,
ever. Well, they'll have more than a couple shows a year, but
a couple drama is what I'm thinking.
Like right now, you have True Detective and you have Crashing. That's pretty much it. Then you'll have
John Oliver's back too.
Well, but like scripted stuff.
Yeah,
and then you'll have like Big Little Lies and Game of Thrones. That's happening at one time.
Sharp Objects.
Was there season 2 of that?
Mm-hmm. I think so. Yeah,
I don't know.
It got renewed.
Oh, okay. But again, like you're not like they're never doing. It's only like a couple shows at once. Ever.
Yeah.
Whereas
for Netflix, a while they were doing like Entourage, and
Netflix has a lot of flops. You don't see them because they don't make it to your like trending and stuff.
Yeah, they do have a lot of flops.
They have a lot of flops.
Well, they're also
not as much these days.
They're really trying to break into the foreign market too by getting a lot of foreign language stuff.
But then remember like Sense8? They had Sense8.
Oh yeah. Was that good? Apparently, it's great.
Was it?
I've heard a lot of good things about it.
Exactly. It ran for like multiple seasons, but I don't know anybody that watched it.
I don't either, but apparently like the reviews of it were, fairly complimentary.
Between the two of us, we have so many people that watch that kind of stuff all the time, and I don't know anybody that watched it.
You know what? I think it's also not like just a film thing now. Like everybody watches everything. Like everybody like people that don't go to film school and they're just like, I'm in marketing. They also have like very good palettes for good television.
Yeah. They might not
Some of my
understand
friends
why.
have dog shit.
Yeah.
Palettes for TV.
Yeah. I definitely have plenty of people. It's still like that older generation. I feel like they're lost. Like our parents' generation.
Yeah.
They don't know like.
My mom watches good TV, but
they don't really know. They can't be like, this is. I feel like I wouldn't take a lot of.
They don't know why it's good.
No, even people our age don't really know why it's good yet. But like, I feel like you're gonna now. You have such a diversity of stuff, and for some reason, like the film industry is still growing.
Well, there's such a diversity of stuff, but there's also a lack of diversity. Like there's a lack of original programming. Well, there's a lot. There's a lot of just hack shit that people are putting out there.
They're scared because they know what works, and every now and then they'll let something new in, and that works, and then they'll just latch onto that. But they'll
latch onto that, and they'll make a couple shows that are the exact same,
or more than a couple. Man, they'll make a buttload of them.
Yeah,
like how many Office ripoffs were there? Like shows that really tried to do that, like that style of shooting. Like there were quite a few, or that like workplace situational comedy stuff. Like you can look at like you could say I feel like Community, I feel like 30 Rock, I feel like Parks and Rec. All of those were because of The Office.
I'm more thinking of like Vikings was super successful. That TV show on History Channel.
Oh, and like now like Last Kingdom and all that stuff.
Yeah, now there's Last Kingdom. There's Norseman, which is just another name for Vikings. Like it's literally like that. It's like literally just that kind of shit. People are just remaking it.
You could even argue
for Netflix.
You could even argue Vikings was a response to Game of Thrones a little bit. Like that style, the way it's shot looks very Game of Thrones.
Yeah, it is very Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones came out in 2011.
Yeah,
and I
2011.
think Vikings
definitely.
Vikings was definitely like in pre-production, like when Game of Thrones came out.
I mean, but still,
yeah.
But I mean, Game of Thrones, because the thing is like I remember when that show was coming out, people were like, "Oh, this feels like a shitty Lord of the Rings ripoff."
So I've had HBO like that entire time.
Yeah.
The first trailer I saw for Game of Thrones, my dick got so hard.
Really?
Oh, I was so excited.
Really? I was pumped for it too.
Well, I love Sword and Sandals and I love fantasy.
Oh yeah, you do.
That's why I'll watch like anything.
Well,
that's why I love
Game of Thrones is
I love Vikings.
Sandals.
I love. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like just like.
I know what you mean, like high fantasy.
Fantasy, like I love like medieval shit.
Do you like Lord of the Rings?
I do.
It feels like
it's almost too much fantasy for me.
Oh, okay.
Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones is still kind of rooted in. I don't know what the word is, but
reality?
I don't know what I'm sure.
It's grounded more so.
It's more grounded.
I guess. Is it?
At least it feels that way to me.
It's because of the way they talk and like how gritty and everything it is.
Yeah, but it's also like Lord of the Rings is like every single person's like a different like race. There's like hobbits and big giant tall wizards and elves, and Game of Thrones it's like they're all like people. They're all just like dudes
and dwarves.
Are there dwarves in Game of Thrones? Yeah. I was like, what? Yeah, but like it's mostly just all people still.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I bet you if you went back and watched Lord of the Rings now, you probably would really like it.
Game of Thrones is like a fantasy, like political like war thriller. It's weird.
That's what
Game of Thrones is like very political. Lord of the Rings is not like political. Lord of the Rings is
there's not as much.
Lord of the Rings is more just like a it's all just like an allegory and all that fun shit.
I don't know. I love Lord of the Rings.
So do I. I don't dislike Lord of the Rings. I just love Game of Thrones so much more.
I guess I'm more surprised you don't like it more than you do, I guess. But like, did you like I remember you said you really liked Aragon back in the day.
Yeah, I did.
And you liked Harry Potter a lot, which has like that fantasy element to it. Because it's very much like rooted in fantasy, but it's like modern day magic.
I do love Aragon, but I hated the fucking movie.
Yeah, the movie
sucked.
I don't know.
Did you read Aragon and Eldest and Brissinger?
I read half of the first one, and I did not get.
It's a long one.
Yeah. It's not that. I don't mind length. It was more of like I remember thinking I didn't really like the writing that much back in the day.
Well, do you know who wrote it? Christopher Paolini. That was his first book that he wrote when he was 19.
Oh, wow. That's impressive for
he
sure.
Was 19 and he wrote a 1,000-page high fantasy book.
I feel like I can't say shit about it.
Yeah.
Like, at 19? Jesus Christ. But
yeah, I think I read that, but it's still kind of read a little YA.
Very.
Yeah.
But I mean, well, that's probably why I liked Harry Potter so much. It didn't read YA at all.
No.
Love element is not important. I feel like if anything, she fails on that quite a bit. Those kids would have been jacking off everywhere in that castle.
Oh yeah,
they would fucking each other all over the place.
Yeah. Well, if you were ever like not hard and you wanted to be hard, you'd be like Wingardium Leviosa. Make your dick.
Yep, just like pull it up.
Yeah.
Well, you just be pulling up a flaccid penis.
If you want to come, you just point your wand at your dick and say Expecto Patronum. You shoot a misty deer out your dick.
Well, I mean, whatever yours is, but like.
Mine's probably a tiger.
Yeah,
rawr.
I just that's the only thing. If you want to even quibble about stuff with Harry Potter, you could say that they do nod to that at one point though. Remember Harry and Ron try to go up to the girls' dormitory and it turns into a slide and they like slide down, and they very briefly because then you're like. Because they were having
going
a problem.
On a panty raid?
Well, no, we knew why they were going up there, but you know that's the reason that it's there is because they said they can't trust boys, and you're like, that's like the most sexual reference they make, except for when people snug each other.
No, another sexual reference.
Oh boy,
Fred and George Weasley are both beaters. They're just beating their meat all the time.
That is what it is. Yeah, you're right. That's what they fly up in the air during Quidditch and just jack off near each other,
jerk each other off.
Yeah, well, you have to jerk off the other team's beater, so it's whoever can beat the fastest.
Whoever can come first, you win.
No, it's whoever lasts the longest.
Well, that's what I mean. Like whoever can make the other person come, the jerker or the beater wins. Not the BT.
So Fred and George are jacking off the beaters of Ravenclaw.
Yeah.
And if the Ravenclaw beaters come,
then Fred and George win.
They both have to come. So if like one comes, you got to get the other one to still come. And then
yeah.
Oh,
but
what
then,
a race.
But then once you get one of them out, it's easy. Because then you could have Fred could be jerking him off, and then George could like stick his fingers in his mouth, and then just
finger in the butt.
Finger in the butt, yeah.
Oh,
work that prostate, circular motion.
We're also
clockwise
assuming
and
that
counter.
But what if it's but I guess are they only ever male beaters? What do you do if it's a girl? It's a long game.
That is true. Yeah. Yeah. That one is more like you have to like talk to them and make out and be like, I love you, and kiss them on the neck.
Oh boy.
You got to really be cute about
that
it.
false sense of security for the game. Oh God. I don't feel like people. I feel like they never showed that bit in the movies.
Yeah, they left it out of the movies.
Yeah, I don't know why. They didn't show enough Quidditch then, I guess. Harry's just looking for the snitch, but they didn't show the beating that took place in the center of the match.
Yeah, a lot of people also don't really remember that there was two ways to win. Yeah. So you could either catch the golden snitch, or while you're beating, if you could make somebody shoot through one of the rings.
You just drag him around the field by the penis.
200 points. It's actually worth more than the snitch catch.
Dude, I really am thinking about that now. And I know that, like, you literally hand all these kids a gun and let them go in this castle.
That's fun.
And then you assume that they're just not boning. Oh, no. So many kids would die. I mean, you're literally giving them a stick that can do anything.
Yeah.
And it's just like, and you know, like,
I mean, when I was born, I was given a stick that could do anything.
What was it?
Hey-o!
It's not your penis, so I'm not sure what you're referring to.
The only thing it can't do is get hard.
It can do anything except its job.
Yeah.
But yeah, there should have been.
Just doesn't get hard.
There should have been some references, not like to like, and then Harry fucked, but like, but there should have been something where you're like, yeah, this is like they're growing up because you're supposed to be growing up with these books, and they're 17.
Harry gave Cho Chang a hug and smelled her hair, and he just thought to himself, I wonder what her asshole smells like.
Oh boy, Joe was like, Cedric used to do this for me. Why won't you do this for me? And then Harry cried himself to sleep.
Cedric Diggory used to put his dick in me.
Yeah. Cedric would do the butt. Why won't you do the butt? And I mean your butt.
Yeah.
Joe tried to peg Harry, and he said no
with his wand. With her wand. And Gorgio.
Not again.
Can feel my anus tearing.
He's like, Madame Pomfrey, my butthole's 2 feet wide. Not again. Yeah, do you know how many times Madame Pomfrey had to shrink penises? I can guarantee you.
Oh, probably a lot.
1,000 a year.
Or mend ripped vaginas.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Or like girls who try to blow their boobs up.
Yeah, probably popped them.
Yeah, popped them. I mean, like,
popped them, and then they flew around the room like somebody just popped a balloon.
See, or do you know how many times, like, oh man, people probably looked in that mirror of Erisa and just saw the nastiest shit. But they never talked about any of that stuff.
Oh yeah.
Nope.
Like Dumbledore giving Professor McGonagall a Cleveland steamer.
Yeah. He's like, I see a nice pair of socks, but if we really saw what he's looking at, a Cleveland steamer. Oh boy.
Harry's jerking off into a sock, and then he gives it to Dobby, who puts it on his foot. I am a free elf.
Yeah.
Squish, squish, squish.
Thank you, Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Oh my god. You know what? So there you go.
That is the episode for this week.
Think that is all of it. Okay, where can you find us? And
we are officially on iTunes, people.
We made it, people.
Yeah, it only took us 8 episodes to get on there.
Well, I think we only just realized we were there.
Yeah, well, I submitted it to iTunes, and they never gave me a confirmation. They just said, it's up for review.
Yeah.
And then we checked iTunes, and it was up there. So
yeah.
We're on iTunes. So
subscribe to us on iTunes. Give us as many 1-star reviews as you can.
That would be fun.
But don't actually give us 5 stars because that helps.
Yeah, no, give us 5 stars and then just shit and complain.
Yeah.
About everything that's wrong.
Yeah.
If it's funny, we'll read it.
Yeah, give us a 5-star review, but then in the review, just be so mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll read it. If you give us a 5-star review, we will read your review.
Yeah. If you want to do something fun, you can tally up how many times I say like every podcast.
Yeah. How many times Alex cuts me off.
Yeah. It's
how many times I like comic book masturbate and list the comics that people have created.
Yeah. I say, ooh.
Yeah. How many times I show off what I know.
Yeah.
I also just want to say we will read off your comments until we get famous enough that we can act like there's so many that we don't know that they're there.
Yeah.
And then we'll act like we've never read any.
Nope.
And then we'll create a Patreon.
We'll strike it from the record.
And when we create a Patreon, we would like your money and we will not thank you for it.
Yeah. If you give us $10 a month, I'll send you a personalized dick pic every month.
Yeah. Alex will send you a personalized dick pic and I will send you a personalized tit pic.
Wait to get disappointed in both of those.
So you'll have a dick and nipples from both of us, but it'll only be
hot.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, follow me on Instagram at Augie Panu, AUGGIEPANU, and follow at the Nick Lanham, THENICKLANHAM
on all platforms.
On all platforms.
Yeah, Instagram, Twitter. Actually,
FoxNews.com.
You know what I forgot to mention?
What?
I am doing this new thing where I'm only letting myself go on social media 2 or 3 times a week.
Oh, that's
I'm so happy. I'm so much happier these last couple of weeks I've been doing it.
Yeah.
Because you
do it for Instagram too?
I'm never on Instagram in the first place.
Instagram's the one I'm on the most. Instagram,
Twitter was my
I just scroll.
I'm never on Facebook.
Twitter is too depressing.
Twitter fucks my day up sometimes.
Yeah, Twitter's a rough one. If you get down to like weird rabbit holes of like shitheads, like you get like deep into like a random group of people, a random community.
Well, but the problem with it now is that it shows you like, I would have to go through everybody I follow and change this, but like it shows you stuff they liked. And if they like a video of like a dude getting shot and you just see him like bleed out, or like a dog that's been like duct taped and thrown in a river and shit.
What the fuck do you follow?
I follow like sports and like That's in like comedy and like comic books.
I only follow comics on
Like Mark Hamill, I love Mark Hamill, but he likes a lot of fucked up shit because he loves animals. So when
so there's like it just to get it out.
He
there.
liked a video of this dude like stabbing a dog in Mexico.
Jesus Christ!
It ruined my week. Like I was. So now
let's stop talking about this. Let's end the podcast.
No, I was just gonna say
no.
What I was gonna say was, so now I'm only doing like I'm right now I'm at like 2. Dude, my neighbors can definitely hear you doing that.
Oh, sorry. I'm just knocking on the.
You also
knocking on the
yelled
wall.
"cunt" earlier, which I love. I hope they heard that bit. The wall part, I don't mind at all.
God, fucking fuzzy shit all over the goddamn room.
It's that thing. But yeah, dude, you should give it a shot. I'm loving my life now.
I'll try to.
Because it's just
I love Instagram so much though.
Well, I mean, you just do, but then also the way that those apps work, they now know like the stuff you visit the most. So when I do open Twitter, it's just the stuff I want to see. Like it's like Cardinals and Blues news and like comic book movie stuff.
Instagram is really weird now, so it's like it has like a weird algorithm based on like what you like, and then it keeps showing you those posts, and then it kind of like pushes down like stuff that you haven't seen in a while.
Oh,
or like haven't like liked in a while. Like, yeah. So, like, I'll go on.
So, if it's like a page you like a lot.
Page you like a lot, like, you'll see all of their posts.
Right
like,
away.
all the time. And if it's a page that, like, you haven't liked something on in a while.
Like one of your friends, you just don't like their stuff usually or something.
Yeah. Or, like, something like that. It's like, then, like, you'll go to their page and you're like, I haven't seen their last, like, 10 posts.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So I'm never on there,
weird.
so I don't think about that.
Yeah.
So there's probably
so then I have to like
seen in years.
So then I'll click on that person and then I'll like something and then it starts showing back up in my feed.
Oh,
it's
that's
weird,
dude.
Yeah, I don't like it.
That feels like it's not helpful, actually, though.
Well, that's like the big gripe about Instagram is that it needs to go back to chronological order.
Yes,
and it should just be whichever ones you follow. That's what should be.
That's what Twitter should be too.
It's
Twitter
fucking
does that
annoying.
thing. Have you noticed Twitter? I don't like when I open Twitter and the first thing I see is 18 hours old.
Yeah.
Like,
I want to see
it's helpful.
what's happening right now.
Yeah, but
That's why I'm on Twitter.
I like where it'll stack it up so it's like it's chronological, but it's the stuff I follow the most, and then it'll kind of start to drift into stuff that that I like a lot, you know.
Yeah.
But I don't want to see that. But I seriously, these past couple of weeks I've been doing that have been beautiful.
All right, I'll check it out.
You should give it a shot.
Yeah, I'll try doing
So
it.
follow me, but don't be offended if I don't follow you back
Oh,
for a couple days at most.
All right.
All right.
We'll talk to you later.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
See you later.
Is this the end?
This is the end. Bye, fuckers.
Bye.